My Move the Chains audience, we are back on this wacky Wednesday, curling for the girls. Feeling great today. I'm posting this a lot later tonight, as I always do. And I usually give you guys my Raider reactions, but Raiders played their game on Friday. I gave you guys my reactions on Saturday. But tonight, I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. Trying to find new ways to interact with you guys. And I saw a rumor today that Kyle Shanahan could go to the Bears. Now, at first thought, I went, okay, timeout. Seriously? Going to the Bears with that shit? Oh, God. And then I had to think for a second. And then I thought, I don't hate the idea. And I'll tell you why. Because let's just say, for sake of argument, Kyle Shanahan wanted to leave the Niners. And now he would be coveted in all these jobs. You know, the Jets job's open. I'm looking here. Jacksonville, Jet job, all these jobs. But the Bears one's intriguing because of the quarterback. And I think Kyle Shanahan sees a perfect window to go if he were to leave San Francisco. Now, the Bears have to go draft picks and all that. It would be like a Gruden with Al Davis, early 2000s. Could I see it happening? I highly doubt it, but I've seen crazier shit happen. However, I do believe Shanahan could leave the Niners, and I think it's perfect time to do it. Number one, it's an old bitter roster. A lot of old guys. They're getting brittle. McCaffrey's got 2 Achilles injuries. I don't know. I haven't even heard of that, but he did. Brock Purdy, going to pay him the bag, but I got to kind of push back on that. Can we stop doing this in the media? Like, can we just stop? Like, Brock Purdy's fine. But I saw it on the same field Sunday night. The gap is as big as the Grand Canyon. As big as this room right here. My mom's old office, R.I.P. Mom Mac. But my point is that why? I mean, I get the Bear job, but then there's Jacksonville job. But Jacksonville is like the quiet, like that's where mobsters kind of like go to hide. Chicago's where mobsters started. So I do think Kyle Shanahan. I also think because his dad's from there, Mike. I believe one of the suburbs of Chicago. So I could see that happening, and I think Kyle Shanahan could go, well, I got this young quarterback, can bring the run game, can get this team right. You know, Kyle, he's had a lot of success, but I don't know. It's just something to look at, keep an eye on. And I just think it's Chicago. If you win, you're a legend. And I've seen this with Chicago. They've had Siskel and Eppert, and they had Roper and Eppert for a long time. Those were big names. Big. The Bears, William Perry, Mike Ditka, the Cubbies, the White Sox. They've always had big names. It's Chicago, it's big. Michael Jordan, Oprah. So I just feel like Chicago needs a hit at coach. Now, could Thomas Brown be that guy? Possibly. I'm not sure. Because the interim thing's kind of weird because it's kind of like substitute teacher in school. Like, you're cool for a little bit, but long term, you start seeing cracks. So we'll see what Thomas Brown. I've liked what I've seen so far. I mentioned this on Thursday. The offense looks a lot better, but we got to see. It's going to be interesting this weekend in San Francisco to see how that game transpires and if the Niners fall apart, which I feel like they are. This is just season from hell. I mentioned this Sunday night or Monday after I saw the Sunday night game. I don't know. I just feel like the Niners, to me, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I kind of feel like, all right, let's go. Like, I did enough. I squeezed enough. And I don't think he really wants to rebuild this team. I wouldn't. Now, the difference between them and San Francisco is San Francisco's well-run with John Lynch and the York family, and the Bears are not. So that would be kind of the difference for me. But I also think the Bears have a lot of talent. But I've seen this movie my whole life with the Bears. Like, they've always had players. It's just the ownership sucks. And McCaskey's awful. And you really think he wants to listen to Kevin Warren? He's a middleman. He's not even... The hierarchy is just so fucked up in Chicago. So it's something to keep an eye on. I just heard the story today, and I just want to get my 2 cents on it. My dad's kind of like, whoa, what? So he can blow it in the Super Bowl? Funny. I get it. He's got to prove something. He hasn't had his trophy case yet. But I wouldn't hate it. The Niners teams have always been tough. Chicago's a tough city. I wouldn't hate it. It kind of has this feel to me, and I heard this today, it kind of had a feel of like Tony Dungy to the Colts. Like they have a superstar young quarterback, Peyton Manning, Caleb Williams. Just get your side of the ball right. We'll fix obviously the Bears just get the defense figured out, kind of get the offense right. So it's just something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of job openings this year in the NFL. We shall see. I mean, the Jaguar job's open. I know the Giants and the Bengals jobs are open. Listen, if I'm the Bengals, I would go get Bill Belichick or somebody. Or a Vrabel, a tough, intense guy. Vrabel fits. He's in Cleveland. Hell, all you got to do is drive it 3 hours and you get him. So, we'll see what happens. There's a lot going on. Rex Ryan could come back to the Jets. I would love that. I always liked Rex Ryan. Kind of weird near the end, but I always liked Rex. He's a Jet. He's loud. He's brash. Physical, tough. They had that in New York, even with Eric Mangini, a little bit of his teams, and then Rex Ryan's. So, we shall see what happens, but I'm intrigued by the Kyle Shanahan thing to the Bears because I think it could be fascinating and obviously makes sense from the family standpoint. He was born in Minnesota and then Minneapolis. I don't know how I know that, but I do. And then, Chicago. So I can see that kind of working, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I also want to touch on, last thing tonight, I posted this a little later than I wanted to, and it's great having you guys on, is that college football playoff came out. And the 12 team, and I looked at it this morning, and listen, I know Miami fans are complaining and whining that they didn't get in. But, dude, you lost to Georgia Tech and you lost Syracuse. I mean, come on, you can't do that, bro. And again, I'm a Cam Ward guy. I love him. And I'll say this with Cam Ward. The games that they've lost, he's played well. Now, he got strip sacked against Georgia Tech, obviously. And Miami's kind of like a really good offensive team, but not a great defensive team. So, Alabama getting in, I don't love that. They've had 3 losses. I don't love that. The Vanderbilt one, okay. Vanderbilt's a little bit better. Shouldn't have lost to them, but you did. But the Oklahoma one is like head scratching to me like, what the fuck just happened? So, a lot to get into. I don't know if Penn State's that good. I like Drew Aller a lot. I would think he's like a second, third round quarterback. I like him. Physical traits, all that stuff, kind of Big Ben light. But I don't know, man. I just feel like when I'm watching Penn State, James Franklin, I said this a couple weeks ago, he's a fraud. And I smell some bullshit. That's what I smell, okay? You can smell what Sammy is cooking. I smell some bullshit. So, we'll see what happens. I'm glad Notre Dame's in. Phil Sexton, all my Notre Dame friends. So, I'm happy they're in. But we shall see. I'm excited for this playoff. I'm glad, we're getting 12 teams out of this, and then everybody can complain. Now, I still think the same couple teams will get in. Georgia, Texas is great. Ohio State, maybe. I don't know. That loss Saturday was awful. So, a lot to get into. But yeah, we just got to find out, fuck around, find out, stupid shit, stupid prizes. We shall see what happens this weekend with the conference games. I'm leaning a little bit. If I was giving my picks, I would lean toward Oregon over Penn State. And I would go Boise State beats UNLV. And I'm looking at the other ones. Oh, Big 12. Colorado's not in it. They don't deserve to be in it. I'm sorry, but after that Kansas loss, they got their ass beat. I'm not sold. I do like Shador, although I got baggage and question marks with him, as I've illustrated before. And we just shall see. Fuck around. We're going to find out. And that's all I want to talk about here tonight. I hope you guys are doing well on this wacky, terrific Curls for the Girls Wednesday. I'm going to be posting more content throughout the week. Hit the like, subscribe, share button. And talk to you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great night.